Hello, everyone. This is the revised quantifiers test. Did you watch my video that I did on quantifiers? If you didn't, you can go back and watch it now. Or you can take the following test, which has been updated and revised to see how well you know them. These are the quantifiers that we will be working with in this video. So, are you ready? Okay, let's go. Number one. And the answer here is some. I got some nice gifts for my birthday this year. We use some here because it's a positive. We actually got gifts. So we use some. And remember, some is usually with a positive, and any is usually with a negative. For example, I could say, I didn't get any nice gifts for my birthday this year. You see, that's a negative. There aren't any. Okay. Now for number two. And the answers are any and some. We don't have any soy milk left. You need to pick some up after work today. All right. So now we see in the first part, it's a negative. We don't have any, right? There isn't any milk, right? So you need to pick some up. We're going to get something, right? It's a positive. So this is why we use some, right? In a positive sense. And we use any, like the first sentence, in a negative. We don't have any soy milk. Got it? All right. Now for number three. And the answer here is a few. My neighbor is very generous. She let me pick a few oranges from her tree. Now, this is a little bit tricky. If we just say few oranges, it's a negative. It means not that many, a very small amount. Even though a few oranges here means that, well, she was willing to give me some oranges. All right. Again, a few. So there's a quantity there, right? It's more of a positive because we know that from the context, she is very generous. So she's giving us a few, right? Not just few. Few would be negative. Got it? All right. Now for number four. And the answer here is few. Bill is an extremely shy student, so he has few friends at school. Now we're back to few again. Few is used if there's a negative or a very small amount. This is what it means here. Bill is extremely shy, so he doesn't have that many friends at school. Now, you could say, so he has a few friends at school. Now, this would work if you had only in there. For example, because he is shy, he only has a few friends at school. Got it? That's how it works. All right, now for number five. And the answer here is few. There weren't many people at the party last night, but the few that did come really had a good time. Now, in this case, we're looking at a negative because there weren't many people at the party, right? A very small amount in the negative. So we use few, right? But the few, meaning the small amount of people that did come, had a good time. Okay? This is how it's used. Now for number six. And the answer here is a little. I have a little free time this weekend. Do you want to meet up for a drink? All right. In this case, we're using a little, meaning a little bit. So this person has free time. Even though it's a small amount, it's a positive. That's why we use a little here. Now, if the person said, I have little free time, it would be a negative. All right. This is what's implied when we use this. So, little free time means a small amount in the negative. A little free time means they have time. Okay. So, it's a positive. Now for number seven. And the answer here is little. Hey guys, there is little time left. We got to get this project done ASAP. Okay, ASAP means as soon as possible. All right, that's the acronym here. It's little time, meaning a very small amount in the negative, right? That's why they have to do this very fast, as soon as possible. Okay, now for number 8. And the answer here is a little. There's a little milk in the fridge, so you should have enough for your coffee this morning. Okay? In this case, a little means a small amount in the positive. The person's going to have enough coffee or enough milk for their coffee, right? If there were little milk in the fridge, okay, it would probably still have enough. All right. But a little is more of a natural way to say it. A little milk, meaning, yeah, there's a small amount, but there's enough for your coffee. Got it? Now for number 9. And the answer here is a little. We have a little time before the bus leaves. So let's get something to eat before we leave. This is a positive. So a little is a positive. It's a small amount, but it is a positive, meaning they have a little bit of time to get something to eat before they leave. If they had little time, maybe it's not a good idea to get something to eat because they won't have time to eat it. All right. So little is the negative small amount. A little is a positive small amount. All right. Remember, it's all in the context of the sentence. Now for number 10. And the answer here is little. Jamie is working every single day of the week. He has little free time to enjoy his new boat. So it's a negative here. He doesn't have time for his enjoyment, which is riding in his new boat or being out in his boat. Okay. So we use little here. The other quantifiers don't work here. Okay. Now for number 11. And the answer here is many. Did you take many pictures at your sister's wedding reception? Now, in this case, we're using many. Picture is a countable noun. So pictures, it's a plural of picture. So we're talking about some, right? So it's a positive. Some pictures. Did you take some pictures? All right. Now, if you say, did you take few pictures? That's a negative. Doesn't really work here. Did you take little pictures? Again, doesn't work. Did you take much pictures? We can't use much because much is used with uncountable nouns. All right. So many pictures here means did you take some pictures? Got it? Now for number 12. And the answer here is much. You look tired. How much sleep did you get last night? Now, sleep is an uncountable noun here. That's why we use much. We wouldn't use many because we use many with countable nouns, and few and little, we just don't use them with sleep. Native speakers wouldn't use it like this. Okay. Even though you're talking about a small amount of something, we would never say few sleep. Now, you could say, how little sleep did you get? Hmm. Grammatically, it would probably be correct, but we just don't use it like that. We almost always use much. How much sleep did you get? Got it? Now for number 13. And the answer here is much. My brother and I went on vacation with our uncle, so we didn't spend much money. Okay, now money in this particular context is uncountable. So we have to use our much again, right? Much is used with uncountable nouns. Many is used with countable nouns. Now, money is one of these words where it can be countable and uncountable depending on the context. All right. So I know many students have a problem with this. Okay. But look at the context. We're talking about money in an uncountable sense. So we have to use much and few money and little money, we never use it like that, okay? Even though we could say, I spent a little money. You see, a little, we can use a little, all right? But in this context, we always use much money. Got it? Now for number 14. And the answer here is many. How many tests did you have last week? We're counting, right? For tests. Test is a countable noun. Tests is plural, right? So many, the quantifier goes with the countable noun. So how many tests? Okay. We wouldn't say much. How few tests or how little tests? We wouldn't use it like that. All right. Now for number 15. And the answer here is few. Anna is not an outgoing person. She has few friends at school. Because she is not an outgoing person, she has a very small amount in the negative, meaning few. Now, she has little friends at school. We would never use that. And many and much just do not work here at all. Okay. We're looking for the negative. The best negative here is few. She has few friends at school. It's, I would say, this is more of the nuance of the language. We just use few, meaning small amount in the negative. Now for number 16. And the answer here is many. There are too many people in this venue. It's dangerous. Now they're talking a venue is a place, right? It could be maybe like a movie theater or it could be any place is a venue. Okay. And this is actually a negative, right? There are too many of them, right? And we can count people. It's a countable noun. All right. I know it's a little bit confusing with people, but there's a person and then people. Okay. But remember, we're using countable quantifier here. Many, many people. We wouldn't say much with a countable noun. Got it? Now for number 17. And the answers here are a lot of and lots of. Yes, you can use either one of these. I love eating pizza at this restaurant because they always put a lot of cheese or lots of cheese on their pizzas. And I love cheese. Okay. They're talking about a lot of cheese here. They're counting, and this is an uncountable noun here. All right. If they say they always put much cheese, it wouldn't work. Now, the reason for this is this sentence has a positive feeling towards it. The person loves eating pizza at this restaurant. So if we say that they put too much cheese, that's a negative feeling. Okay, so it wouldn't work in this particular situation. It would work in other ones. So if let's say the person doesn't like cheese, doesn't like to eat at that restaurant because they put too much cheese. You see, if we use too much, it'll work, right? Again, because it's an uncountable noun. So much will work with too much. All right. Now, the other one, many, it's not going to work. Got it? Now for number 18. And the answer here is much. I like sugar in my coffee, but you put too much of it in mine this morning. All right. Much here, we're talking about sugar. Sugar is an uncountable noun, so we use much. Now, we can't use many here because we're talking about an uncountable noun, sugar. All right. But we can use a lot of or lots of in another situation. So I want lots of sugar in my coffee, or I want a lot of sugar in my coffee. You see, they both work. But in this particular example, it doesn't work. Got it? And now for number 19. All right. The answers here are a lot of or lots of. Either one of those can be used here. First person says, "So, what's available for my breakfast today?" And the person answers, "Well, there's a lot of oatmeal or there's lots of oatmeal," meaning that there's some. All right. Now, oatmeal is an uncountable noun. So we can use a lot of or lots of with both countable and uncountable nouns. Now, just remember, a lot of and lots of mean the same exact thing, but with lots of, it is very conversational. Okay. So, two friends that are speaking, they'll use lots of when you're not really worried too much about being formal, like when you write. If you're going to write something, a lot of would be the correct way in a formal sense to use a lot of something or lots of something. They mean the same thing. Now, insofar as using many, you would never use many with oatmeal because it's an uncountable noun. But much, you could use much in some examples for like, how much oatmeal do you want? Then you can use much again because oatmeal is uncountable. Got it? And now our final quantifier, number 20. And the answers are much and a lot of or lots of. First one, how much money did you make last week? Much money, we use much here, uncountable noun, right? Money again in this context is uncountable. And then the next part, well, I made more than the week before because my boss gave me a lot of overtime or lots of overtime last week. All right, overtime here meaning hours, extra hours. And most of the time, this is uncountable. But remember, you can use a lot of or lots of. All right. And that's all for this video. So I suggest if you didn't do well on this test to go back and watch my quantifiers video again and take the test again. And remember what I always say, keep practicing. See you next time.